Moving into July 23, 1998, with Resident Evil 0, we hear about 3 places. A Midwest town in the US of A called Raccoon City, an island off in the sea called Rockford Island, and one more island called Sheena Island, which, we are told, would eventually become the second Raccoon City. There are some insanely catastrophic developments already being set in motion, and although there are still many questions, one thing is for sure: the Umbrella Corporation is well involved. But what are the intricacies of their involvement, and how did this company even rise to become the global conglomerate that it is now?
When was it established? By whom? And how was the T-Virus created? To uncover the truth, we must delve deeper into the events which transpired in the beginning, before the mansion incident.
Do you think so too?
Yeah.
Do about it.
Should hold off for a while.
But I wonder how those R&D people would react to this.
It began as a simple investigation of some bizarre murders in the suburbs of Raccoon City. Nothing in our training could ever have prepared us for the nightmare that ensued. We never stood a chance.
What's going on? Engine failure. Emergency landing.
Hopping out of the bird, the Special Tactics and Rescue Service Team, an elite division from the Raccoon City Police Department, who had come to investigate reports of strange deaths, begins to scan their surroundings. And it wouldn't be too long before the woman calls attention to a flipped-over military police vehicle. Corpses lay under, and the captain takes a closer look. The woman finds a court order for an inmate called Billy Coen. We see some weird liquid leaking off the vehicle as she reads more about the prisoner. He was an ex-second lieutenant in the Marine Corps. I see some tats, and that haircut is out of regs, but we also see that he belonged to a Spec Ops unit, and usually the standard is different from them, so I guess that's fine. Despite just being a butter bar, he must be shit hot. I mean, we do learn that Billy was on this transport. He was supposed to be executed. All this to say, he must be extremely capable. One of the other team members rips the clipboard from her hands and starts commenting about how Billy murdered soldiers. But Marines are Marines, not soldiers. Don't mix the two up. The captain says they need to split up and search for clues, no Scooby-Doo. After a while, the woman finds a train. The train. Rain pours down as she cautiously approaches the Ecliptic Express. Boarding it, it takes a while to reorient myself to these controls because the way she moves is a product of that time. I haven't fought camera and controls like this since I played Onimusha decades ago. But moving on, Rebecca announces herself on the train, stating that she is Officer Chambers from STAR's Bravo team.
Is someone there?
The government has announced that it has set out to shut our department. But as of 2 years ago, when a similar plan was set up, the local government stepped in and took over.
Firing away at them, Rebecca is confused.
What just happened? I thought they were dead.
Pushing through this royally blood-soaked train, she finds a journal with the first entry on July 14th, talking about how people were given orders to investigate the remains of the Arklay Mountains lab. They had been split into two groups, with the first group going to check the remains of the abandoned experiment. His writings proceed to discuss developments with the bioweapons and the T-Virus. The following pages go over how Raccoon City news and TV stations have been reporting on bizarre murders happening in the area, and the person writing this postulates that these might be tied to the virus. Rebecca continues to find another report later, also mentioning the Umbrella Corporation training facility 8 miles north of Raccoon City in the Arklay Mountains. I don't know if this is the same one that Wesker and Birkin was at years ago, but all we know is that it was shut down. Now, these people are looking into the reopening of the facilities. However, the rest of the report becomes illegible. And with that, she walks back out to find a dead body. Leaning down, she finds a train key, but then somebody else finds her as well.
Billy. Lieutenant Coen.
So, you seem to know me. Been fantasizing about me, have you?
You're the prisoner that was being transferred for execution. You were with those soldiers outside.
Oh, I see. You're with stars. Well, no offense, honey, but your kind doesn't seem to want me around, so I'm afraid our little chat time is over.
Wait! You're under arrest.
No thanks, Dollface. I've already worn handcuffs.
I could shoot, you know. Edward! Are you all right? What happened?
It's worse than... We can't. You must be careful, Rebecca. The forest is full of zombies and monsters.
Zombies and monsters.
After dealing with that, as she's trying to find Billy, Enrico calls her on the radio telling her to be careful because they found a report saying that Billy killed more than one person. However, this entire situation is going to be extremely dangerous, and as a result, she needs to be working with Billy from here on out. When Billy finds her again, he continues to patronize and be inappropriate, but even he knows that they need to cooperate in order to get out because they can't survive individually. They end up agreeing on a temporary alliance, and Billy smugly waits to see what Rebecca can do. But when she heads upstairs...
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
Are you okay? Who is that guy?
What's going on? Who's controlling the train?
The two need to find a way to get to the first car, but it proves rather cumbersome as they get separated, have to solve puzzles which they hate, and they also have to struggle with limited inventory space. Almost the classic and true survival horror experience. Side note, it feels like actually playing Resident Evil is going to be like 93% finding things and figuring out where they go, and 7% action. My wife loves puzzles. I should probably have her play these for me. I love my wife. But when the zombies and monsters come out, they are a spectacle to behold. Getting smacked all the way to the back of the car, on top of fighting the infected scorpion, he also needs to fight camera angles. He tries to get the scorpion to get over here, but it doesn't get into the camera, so Billy has to walk it down, and after enough bullets, he pierces through its exoskeleton, killing it. Spinning around and heading back down, Billy and Becca reconvene and finally make it towards the first car to find out who's there and who's got the train rolling again. But
This is Delta Team. We have gained control of the train. Over.
Understood.
This does not make any sense. How was the T-Virus leaked? And why did it contaminate both the lab and the mansion, as well as a train almost 3 miles away?
That's irrelevant. We must make sure no knowledge of this gets out. Destroy the train. Completely. How far away are you from the nearest branch line?
About 10 minutes to...
What happened?
So, those two seem to be in a facility elsewhere, and they sent in a team to get rid of the train for the purpose of halting the spread of further infection and getting rid of any evidence. When they get to the first car, they discover that the train is going full steam ahead, and it's not stopping. If they don't do something, and fast, they'll crash. So, Billy stays up front while Becca runs it back, killing some zombies. She's also forced to kill her ex-teammate before making it all the way to the very end. Outside, she finds an electronic lock that requires her to input specifically 10 numbers that equate to 67. Now, with the control device for the brakes engaged, Billy needs to do quick maths and apply said brakes, which, who designed the system? If a train really needs to hit the emergency brakes, why are you going to have somebody run all the way to the back, do math, then come all the way to the front for more math? That takes way too much time, and in a real-life scenario, we'd all be dead. How they managed to walk away alive and practically unscathed, I couldn't tell you. But they find themselves in a tunnel, and with no way out, they end up in the sewers. However, the only way out of there leads them into a place where I can already tell there's going to be a lot more puzzles.
The first general manager, Dr. James Marcus.
Who on earth are those people?
She's just a rookie, a member of STARS.
What about the male?
I'm unfamiliar with him.
Attention. This is Dr. Marcus. Please be silent as we reflect upon our company motto. Obedience breeds discipline. Discipline breeds unity. Unity breeds power. Power is life.
Who are you?
It was I who scattered the T-Virus in the mansion. Needless to say, I contaminated the train, too.
What?
Revenge. On Umbrella. 10 years ago, Dr. Marcus was murdered by Umbrella. You helped them, didn't you?
We see that dude who summons the leeches can sort of recreate people, and Becca had flashbacks of that old guy on the train, like she recognized him, the guy who turned into leeches. That was supposedly James Marcus, or at least the Trojan horse, if you will, that held the virus and then put it on the train. But we learn that whomever that villain is, he seeks revenge for Dr. Marcus because Umbrella had him killed, and the research nerd and sunglasses indoors at night guy are the ones who took part in it. Looking at the grandeur of this mansion, it is hard to believe that this was once a training facility, but this was Umbrella we're talking about. James Marcus was the head of this institution, and later Becca and Billy would find a paper detailing the regulations for trainees, the expectations and guidelines. The purpose of this place was to raise the next generation of model employees to serve under the future of Umbrella Corp. The bar was set all the way to the ceiling, and they didn't care about your race, gender, or anything. They only cared that you became the best of the best to serve the corporation. Discipline, obedience, unity, the basic principles, the laws of the Umbrella training facility. Moving on, in one of the rooms, crows would smash through the windows and begin attacking. While Billy stood there and acted like nothing was happening, Becca shot down each and every one of them. Hours later, the two would also have to fight an infected centipede.
Rebecca!
While it carries her around, Billy shoots at it until it dies and releases her from the clutches of its jaws, and surprisingly, she's completely fine. Later, the duo would find the assistant director's diary, in which he says that the trainees being sent to him are complete buffoons. All except two, William and Albert. He says that those two might have a future, and that William is a scholar while Albert is practical, opposites in nature, competitive with one another, but how they also both held something relentlessly brutal inside of them. In his next entry, he talks about how James Marcus, who's never shown interest in absolutely anything except his research, was now telling him to incite a rivalry between William and Albert. And so what this does is it effectively confirms and tells you that, hey, William Birkin and Albert Wesker were brought here to this training facility before the accounts of Wesker's report 2 and 1. They were trained up here and then sent to that other facility where they became chief researchers. So now picking up in what I believe is Director Marcus's office, we play chess, get poisoned, and unlock a secret compartment in his desk. We get an evil book, but also this is his office, Marcus's diary. His accounts entail the discovery of the Progenitor virus, which we've already talked about in, pretty good detail back in Wesker's report. But the thing to note here is that he talks about Spencer, who, if you remember, is the head of Umbrella Corporation. However, this is Dr. Marcus saying in the journal that at this point in time, as he's writing this, or when he was writing this, that this was the moment that Spencer decided that he was going to start the Umbrella Corporation when he discovered the Progenitor virus. So if you're wondering, how did the Umbrella Corporation start, or what was the origins, I think this is a part of the puzzle. The beginnings and promises of the Progenitor virus likely piqued Spencer's interest, so much so that he decided to create Umbrella. So this guy must have stupid amounts of fuck you money. We learned that Spencer insisted Marcus ran this training facility, but as we know, his only interest lay with his research. So he complies, but really he just uses this facility for exploring his own virus. Now, if you're not already paying attention, pay attention because this gets important. Months later, Marcus writes that after a while of no new developments with the T-Virus, Spencer would start to hound him, complaining that he was just wasting his money, and as a result of this, Marcus would feel the need to, quote-unquote, strengthen his position. But pressing into the future, he also tells us that he actually found a way to, in essence, make progress with the Progenitor. By using the T-Virus as a base, he was then able to add and mix into it other things, in this case, leech DNA, which we saw a good amount of back on the train. And again, if you haven't seen my video on Wesker's report, I talk about how DNA and RNA work a little bit, but all you need to know is that this virus uses RNA, which is more flexible and temporary than DNA, allowing it to change and adapt quickly, because RNA can be edited and it can be replaced without permanently altering genetic information. It makes the viral replication and mutation a lot easier. Basically, RNA, we can do things to it. DNA, it's very hard to do things with it, which is how Marcus arrives at where he does in creating the Tyrant virus, or the T-Virus. Except then issues arise months later once more, because Marcus ends up not being able to make any more significant headway, only running tests on rodents. You see, he needs to experiment on humans. This also explains why later on they'd find a list of inmates. One of the ways in which Marcus would get his human supply was from prisoners like Billy, who were already on their way to being executed. Marcus used them for his experiments. Eventually, he would get the sense that somebody was onto him, that he'd been using humans as subjects, and Marcus goes, "If they get too close, I'm going to use them for my T-Virus testing." It's then revealed that in the following year, Marcus perfected his T-Virus use with leeches, and with this, he said he was going to make his move against Spencer. This is how he was planning to strengthen his position. However, moving into the following months, he discovers that somebody has been trying to access his research, and so he tasks William Birkin and Albert Wesker, the only two people that he trusts, to find out who's been trying to tamper with his work. He knows that Spencer is behind it, he just can't prove it. But he says that at the next director meeting, that is when he's going to announce his success with the T-Virus. Now, it's a little bit vague, and I can't say for certain, but I believe that he was planning to kill Spencer whenever he saw him next, using the leech T-Virus. But this is where his diary ends. Delving deeper into the institution, after blowing up some zombie tarantulas, Billy and Becca get separated again as she needs to climb into another room to activate a device. But when she gets in there, she is horrified to see that this chamber was actually a torture room. What training institution or even research lab needs to torture people? After she turns on the panel, we find out that this whole time, we were being watched.
I have already claimed this place for myself, which means you are trespassing. And I am very territorial.
Naturally, one might assume that James Marcus would have experimented on primates before humans, but now we know for sure, as a zombie monkey comes rushing towards Becca. It jumps on her back, tearing into her shoulder with its jaws, taking chunks of blood and flesh out. Now, it is only a matter of time before she dies and turns as well. And if that doesn't kill her, the fact that she fell down this hole will.
It just doesn't make sense. Do you honestly believe this to be the real identity of that crazy young man? Impossible. But if somehow it is true, then Umbrella will be finished.
If the old conspiracy against Dr. Marcus is revealed, Mr. Spencer's career will be over. Not to mention ours, too. So, the time has come at last.
What are you going to do?
I will simply say goodbye to Umbrella. The biological weapon utilizing the T-Virus has almost been completed. Our only remaining task is to acquire combat data.
You can't be serious. I refuse to abandon my work. I have finished the research on the T-Virus, but I need a little more time to complete the more powerful G-Virus.
Do as you wish. I will follow my initial plan and lure the STARS members into the mansion. Their superior combat training should make them perfect test subjects.
Fine. In the meantime, something must be done about that madman. As I recall, URC is equipped with a self-destruct device in the basement. I'll find it, set it off, and annihilate the place to nothing more than a mass of rubble.
I can't. Hold on.
Oh, so she's alive. Well, there's no way she's going to be able to get out of that. Dead hanging for anybody is insanely difficult, and she must already be beyond exhaustion after having been up for so long, plus all the walking, zombie killing, and puzzle solving she did, and the fact that she just had her shoulder torn well into. There's no way. Oh, I guess despite Billy getting lost and even taking time to change his attire, he finds her and pulls her up. It's gotta be a world record for dead hanging right there.
Hang on. I'll pull you up.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. Just keeping my word. We promised to cooperate with each other. Remember?
This is Rebecca, over.
Rebecca, this is Enrico. Have you managed to locate Coen yet? Over. Rebecca, answer me.
No, sir. I have not found him yet. I'll continue to search for him, over.
Rebecca.
My first mission, and I've already disobeyed orders. So much for my great law enforcement career. Oh well, I probably won't live long enough to worry about it. Billy, I just need to know. I need to know the truth. Did you kill 23 people? I'm not going to judge you. I just want to know the truth.
It was around this time last year. Our unit was ordered to Africa to intervene in a civil war. Our mission was to raid a hideout of some guerrilla forces located deep inside the jungle. But the hideout was far away from our entry point. Some died from the heat. Others were killed by the enemy. In the end, only 4 of us survived. Only, there was no guerrilla hideout.
What do you mean?
The idiots in charge had us operating based on wrong information. But we couldn't just go back home empty-handed, oh no. Our leader ordered us to attack an innocent village.
Get rid of them! Kill them all!
Please, sir! Ceasefire immediately!
Shut up! Do it!
No! Don't! Stop!
So did you execute those innocent people?
Forget about it. Doesn't matter anymore. That was then, this is now. Besides, you said you wouldn't judge me.
I'm not judging you, but it does matter. Look, now my people think you killed those MPs in the van, but I don't think you did. It was those zombie dogs, right? When they attacked the van, you were able to escape. Isn't that right?
You don't get it. I've only got 2 choices left. Either report to the Marines and serve out my sentence, or keep on running for as long as I can. That's all.
So, believe it or not, this is actually something that happens in real life. It's just not that publicized. Of course, don't need to dive into why, and I won't linger on this for too long, and I don't want to demonize the military. I'm thankful to my brothers and sisters who served, but I just want to point this out because it's real. I don't know if Capcom did this on purpose, but you would not believe how many service members go against orders and do the right thing, and then they end up having to be the ones to deal with the ramifications for doing so, because those at the top are being protected by those at the top. Not going to press further into it. Keeping it pushing, after fighting a giant zombie bat, they take an elevator deeper into the facility. There, they would get their hands on another of Marcus's research finds, and what this does is it shows us how He began to do his experiments with the leeches, but more importantly how the T-Virus evolves and adapts, because Marcus would state that he started small, only administering 4 leeches with the virus. They would grow in size and spawn, doubling their numbers, but they became extremely hungry to the point of cannibalism. Marcus would attempt to give them live food to satiate their rapid increase in appetite, but of course, the food would fight back, and as a result, half of his leeches were lost. However, the leeches would learn, and they would adapt. They began working as a collective instead of individually in order to subdue their food, ending their cannibalism, and this evolution is what is important because it shows that the virus, at least for leeches, have a mind or has a mind of its own, in that in order to survive and thrive, it ensures that its host will adapt accordingly. The report ends with Marcus stating how they began to mimic him, and to him, he thinks that the leeches see him as their father. Shortly after, they find and investigate his report. Remember back on the train we learned that 2 teams were dispatched to try and find out what was left of this facility? So, in this report we read, Dr. Marcus, co-founder with President Spencer of Umbrella Corporation, disappeared 20 years ago, but that they found out he had been doing hideous experiments and even also using company employees as test subjects, forcing at least 20 of them into this, and even now, they believe that Marcus is still alive and continuing his research. Later, Becca would find a picture addressed to Dr. Marcus himself, and she would state that the person in the picture, also thinking about the guy she saw outside back on the train, must be Marcus's son or grandson. Moving forward, Becca would radio Billy because she found a cable car, meaning that they could finally find a way out of this place. However, when Billy gets there and they're about to board, they are attacked and Billy is thrown over the rails, falling over. Rebecca rides the cable car onward, and after descending further into the facility trying to find him, she runs into her captain.
Don't shoot! You're alive.
Are you okay, Rebecca?
Where is everybody?
They should have arrived here before me. Haven't you seen them? That's unfortunate. If we go straight from here, we should arrive at an old mansion which Umbrella uses for research. Come on, let's go.
Wait! I've got to find Billy.
Billy Coen? You mean you found that criminal?
Yes, but we got separated and...
No point worrying about him. He won't make it. Come on, let's go.
Sir, please. I need to find him. Don't worry, I'll catch up with you.
Rebecca... All right. Just be careful.
I never saw him again.
Pushing forward, Rebecca would come face to face with what Dr. James Marcus and Umbrella had been trying to achieve all along. After getting slashed by the Proto-Tyrants and getting brutally knocked around, Rebecca finally brings it down, and hopefully that is the last we will see of it. But then, the elevator door unlocks behind her. She is still being watched.
Playtime is over. You and your friends no longer amuse me. Good riddance. Now nothing will stop me from getting my revenge.
Walking out of the elevator, she looks over the water and sees that Billy is still there, somehow barely alive, unconscious, and clinging onto a rock. However, something in the water comes up from under and attacks him, sending him careening down a dark hole. Rushing down after him, Billy would miraculously be completely fine. Man has some crazy survival instincts for his body to just naturally kick into autopilot while he's on death's edge. Clinging onto rocks and climbing out of water while unconscious is wild.
Okay? Huh? What could have done this?
They must have been used as test subjects in Marcus's research. He must have kept messing around with the mother virus.
Billy?
As they would continue to find a way out, the Proto would find them again. After getting slashed by the zombie bone claws again and getting smacked around, she brings it down again. Hopefully, we never have to see it again. Feeling as if though they're very close to finding their way out, it turns out the robed leech villain would find them instead.
Welcome, young ones. So glad you have joined the party. You are the guests of honor. After all, it's your wake.
Who are you? Dr. Marcus?
No, you can't be. What's going on?
10 years ago, Spencer had me assassinated.
Time to die, Doctor.
I will take over your research.
Wesker. Birkin. However, something wondrous happened. It took the T-Virus inside of my queen years to procreate my new life.
I live. Now I will have my revenge on Umbrella, and the world will burn in an inferno of hate.
You'll pay for what you've done.
We'll see which one of us is gonna die.
Ew. But also that's kind of sad. Like, imagine not really trusting anybody, and then the two people that you do end up trusting turns out to be the ones who do you in. And also, how crazy is it that the leech, the T-Virus, spent 20 years resurrecting James Marcus? But now we also finally saw how Birkin and Wesker killed him, giving us a better understanding as to why Marcus wants revenge. But it doesn't matter because now he's dead. Becca and Billy ride the lift up. However,
What?
It's the Queen!
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate immediately. Repeat,
Who activated the self-destruct system?
Come on, can't this thing move any faster?
Shit! Whoa!
The two shoot the Queen Leech, and for a moment they stun it, enough for Rebecca to ascertain that it is weak to sunlight. So they plan to open up the windows and let the glorious sun pour in.
We need to open the windows!
Follow me! You work on the windows.
Got it.
I'll use my charm to distract Her Majesty.
Billy!
Hey, Queenie! Feast on this! Rebecca, hurry!
Hey, that must be the old mansion that Enrico was talking about. I guess it's time to say goodbye. Officially, Lieutenant Billy Coen is dead.
Yeah, I'm just a zombie now. Thank you, Rebecca.
I am certain we will be seeing Billy again.